ENT 110 students, hi, Catherine Robertson here. We are midway through week 7. Hopefully you are doing really well. Next week we will have no new material, but we will have the final exam, and your final posts and projects will all be due by the end of next week. Next Friday is our last day of the term. As always, if you are running into any issues, please let me know. I did send an email out to you regarding a opportunity to be involved in a marketing simulation, and we have extended that date. It's a very important participation event for us if you would like to be involved and work with a small team with the assistance of instructors here at EC3 over the next few weeks. I do have a couple volunteers already. It is through next week, so if you are considering things or considering possibly doing that or helping with that opportunity, let me know. Or if you have more questions about it, let me know. So this week, when we look at the chapters, most of you are already deep into chapters 3 and 15. There are a couple short videos there for you. The video on Kevin Plank from Under Armour, and then the Howard Schultz top 10 rules for success. So we have those two things for you to read this or to view this week, and then we have 2 PowerPoint assignments, and we are also looking then at finishing up our final projects this week and our final posts. So I will put in this week also that the discussion 5 is highlighting your business idea. Remember, you are hitting those 4 main points that we talked about in discussion 4, and you are turning that into an outline. Many of you will be moving on to business plan development, where you could come up with a new idea, but you could take this outline and use it as the basis for that course. So really it's kind of a lockstep situation where you take this course, you learn a lot of the different areas relating to starting up a business and being an entrepreneur, living the entrepreneurial mindset, and you come up with an idea that you may or may not want to use in your next class. But if you do, you already then have that outline and a good sense of what would go into a business plan. All right, so for when we're looking at, my mouse is acting up, so I am using my touchscreen. Chapter 3, we are looking at things relating to ethical and social responsibilities. We do talk about ethical and social responsibilities in other courses. It is continually an underlying concern in the business world and for entrepreneurs as well. And so there are 3 sections in Chapter 3 that I would like you to review. And first one is ethical and legal issues in entrepreneurship. And so some of the things that we might encounter are things relating to corporate culture and, considering some of things relating to legal issues. And so some of you have taken the business law course. And if you were lucky enough to get Guy Fustine, he is one of our resident attorneys here that knows a lot about things related to torts, fraud, antitrust, contracts, intellectual property. These are all legal issues and employment issues. So if you are starting a business, it is important that you are on top of your game when it comes to different areas relating to the law. So figure 3.2 kind of starts to go into those, and there's more in depth in your text. And when we think about some of the examples of copywriting and artwork, symbols, and a lot of these things that you know about relating to kind of playing off someone else's brand image that they worked hard for. And so as consumers, folks they fall prey to things that look similar to a larger company, more successful company. And so, but larger companies worked hard to get that symbol to be well known. And so they are not likely to give that up in the short run. All right, so a couple other things. We have something called antitrust laws, and these really are laws that help maintain some sort of civility in the business world. And typically we will see antitrust laws relative to companies that are somehow restricting competition, or companies that are behaving like a monopoly, companies that are colluding, any type of unfair business practices, because we want to keep, the government's job is to keep companies or keep it a level playing field, and also to protect consumers from, rogue companies. And so we do have a few antitrust laws there. The Sherman Act of 1890, Clayton Antitrust 1914 are two of the oldies but goodies, and that is slide 11. And then when we move into 3.2 and corporate social responsibility, that is a whole area, CSR, of not only large corporations, but also something for small businesses and newly formed businesses and entrepreneurs to consider. Making sure that you are really focusing on some of the ethical components, some of the legal components, all of the legal components, licensing, any type of regulations that go along with your organization. And then, so there is a list of examples of multi-billion-dollar corporate responsibility problems. And so you see Chevron, Volkswagen, General Motors, Enron are just a few, and it lists then in slide 15 some of the things that have been done that were, outside of the scope of what we consider ethical. And on slide 16, there are also a few more: Intel, Flint, Michigan, Pfizer, Eli Lilly, Toyota, that actually went outside of the bounds of fair play. And so when that happens, much like in a sporting event, we'll take, for instance, hockey, if a player is getting a little too rough, what happens? They are pulled out of the game and they are put into the penalty box. It doesn't mean that they are out forever. It means that they need to suffer the consequences of whatever their actions were that were outside of what the rules of the game entail. And so going through, and looking at some of the ethical considerations, looking at figure 3.6 and slide 22, and thinking about some of the foundational qualities for ethical decision-making by entrepreneurs, having a grander purpose. There's three things here: excellence, fairness, and trust. And so thinking about this idea of fostering and focusing on excellence. The second one, fairness, considering all different types of ideas and feelings, maintaining accountability. And then the third one, trust, making your decisions truthful, having patience and respect, and being thoughtful. All of those things are things that could be guiding practices for entrepreneurs out in the field. And, when we're thinking about some of those excellence factors in figure 3.7, slide 25, we look at, how do we reflect that excellence in our operations through innovation, through how we do our financing, our leadership, to name a few. And so really when you are, look at some of the examples in chapter 3 and kind of discover how, we can learn from other people's mistakes, other organizations' mistakes. And when we learn from those mistakes, we're able to then avoid those mistakes ourselves as business owners or folks in the business world, which some of you already are. Some of you are already business owners. Some of you are already folks out in the business world. All right, the other chapter, and I saved 3 for the end because it kind of ties nicely into then this last chapter, which is the next steps. And so this chapter kind of, if you are still looking for some help kind of getting off the ground when it comes to your business plan idea, chapter 15 is kind of helps with that boost. Launching your venture, there's 5 sections. Making difficult business decisions in response to challenges, because you're going to face challenges, seeking help or support, serving as a mentor or consultant, and then reflection on your journey. So a lot of these questions, such as serving as a mentor or consultant and reflecting on your journey, those were things that we uncovered from our own interviews when we interviewed entrepreneurs earlier in the semester. And so thinking about launching your venture, this part is particularly important for you guys as you move forward and finish up your business plan outline. So really be thinking about and creating this idea of a vision. Like, what direction would you like to take whatever your product or idea is about? And even if you're not thinking you want to open your own business or be, per se, an entrepreneur, having an entrepreneurial mindset in any type of job that you might have will open up so many doors for you and allow you to kind of think outside the box and help your organization grow by always kind of thinking of new ideas and reframing current ways and just making things more efficient. Having a more effective and assertive way about you as part of the business, and kind of leading through example in that sense. So you don't necessarily have to be wanting to open your own business to still really live out the entrepreneurial mindset. Okay, so looking at a few other things, code of conduct, things that you might have to kind of help grow your business, and how do you want to operate within your business, the planning, the design, the development of a different product or new products within your business. And so we do have another course here, new product development, and that or new business development, and that is really for either starting a whole new business or finding and capturing new areas or growing market share. So both things can be considered when we're thinking about growing your business. In slide 11, figure 15.5, really thinking about things that might try to sabotage your success. And so, things like hindsight bias, like looking that adage that 2020 hindsight is 2020. Absolutely, if we are constantly critiquing and feeling down about decisions that we've made in the past when we made them with the information we had at the time, I think it's really important to make sure that we keep moving forward in those instances. 15.7 also helps kind of get you thinking about this idea of a mind map and how creativity can kind of lead from one idea to another. So you may want to use a mind map when it comes to your idea. In figure 15.9, we have our local beehive situation here, and I will put a link on for that. We are trying to partner with the beehive here in Erie, and if you are an entrepreneur, you can always contact me or Bill Jeffress about how you might have product and development success here in Erie. We do have a business incubator in town, and they partner with the local colleges, each to offer a different component to help you get your business off the ground. So that is also something that we are working to be more involved with. And figure 15.11 in slide 19, definitely a slide that you could use as you move forward, thinking about, gathering ideas. If you are still kind of thinking about how to hone your idea and grow your idea. So through these chapters, 15 is our last chapter, just be thinking a little bit outside the box. How can you make the world a better place? Whether it's through your own product or idea, or it's through helping the business that you might work for or organization you might work for, how can they grow? Because a rising tide lifts all boats. So regardless of if it's your own business or you are working with others already, you can have success as with the entrepreneurial mindset. All right, so that is week 7. There is there's homework for week 7, chapters 3 and 15. I will extend the due date on that. I think I originally have here on the 7th, and I will put on there, I'm going to extend that a couple days. I'll put that on there the 10th, and so I'm going to extend that for you. So it gives you a few more days to finish up that last homework. The last day of class is the 11th. My plan is to be posting the final exam by Monday night, and you will then have till Friday to complete that final exam. And as always, if you have questions for me, 814-490-6473. You can shoot me a text or always email me, crobertson@ec3pa.org, or stop on campus. I am on campus Monday through Thursday next week if you need to talk to me about anything. Otherwise, have a wonderful weekend, and I will get back at you a little bit later.